there, studio owner. You've put your blood, sweat, and tears into creating a brick and mortar business that serves your clients and impacts the community you love. You are my hero. And I'm pretty sure we could sit down and talk like besties do, because I get it. I've had my studio business for over 12 years, a handful of kids, and a few passion projects that I love. Like this one. Hey there, I'm Melissa Rose, your visibility coach for the studio owner who wants more stellar clients coming through their doors, more bank in their bank account, and more time to hang out and be completely present with those they love most. In this podcast, we're going to share the nitty-gritty of running a successful studio business, sharing stories, talking strategy, and learning practical tips that leave you inspired, empowered, and equipped to create your epic life every single day. So, if you're a dance studio, yoga studio, Pilates studio, or a fitness boutique studio, you are in the right place. Add some kiddos into the mix and maybe a life partner, and I call you a rebel woman. Ready to dive in? Let's get real.
Hey there, Rebel Women. How are you doing? So good to be here. Today's episode is all about marketing your event, and it's a little meaty. In fact, I was going to do a download for this, but it's just easier if you become a member of the newsletter. And I'm going to have a checklist of today's episode because it's just nice to have this in the fact that you could refer to it often. Of course, you can take notes as well if you're a note taker, but I know you're probably driving or walking or working out or doing the dishes or whatever you're doing and your hands aren't free. So if you come on over to msmelissarose.com/deals and hit go to the newsletter, I'm going to put this checklist in the newsletter this week so that you can just grab it, download it, and have it for your events, for your future events, just to make sure you're hitting all the boxes, because there are a lot of places we can promote our event, but also change it up so that people are seeing it. You've all heard the phrase, people need to see things 14 times at least, but there's a joke that says 14 times 14 different ways. All right, because it used to be like see the same logo over and over and over. And yes, that's true, but you can change up your event the way you present it 14 different times and then some. Okay, so we're going to dive into that. I'm going to give you a timeline of how to do this so that you are not feeling scrambled, because that is what I see a lot of business owners doing. It's like, 2 weeks before or 4 weeks before the event, and they're starting to promote it. And I'm like, people are busy. People have other things, just like you have a family, you have other things on your calendar, you have other things bidding for your time and energy. So we need to make sure we are giving our clients or people ample time to think about it, to process, to plan, so that they can make your event a priority. So before we dive into that, hello. It is beautiful. It is the season of everybody moving into college, starting school, starting new jobs, and all the things, and all the feelings are super real here. Baby number one moved out. I like to say my roommate moved out, but then somebody said, Melissa, she's not your roommate because she didn't pay rent. And I'm like, oh, you're right. She didn't pay rent. And not going to lie, I'm kind of happy she moved out. She is strong-willed, strong woman. I raised a strong, independent woman. And I'm just happy she's off to school, and my house is back to mine. Then baby number two, we move in this weekend. So that'll be exciting. That's her first year of college. So baby number two, we're heading off to Eau Claire this weekend, and I'm super excited. And then I'm going back home to spend some quality time with the family, which is much needed. So looking forward to that. I hope you guys are enjoying these last sweet days of summer before really going into fall. We've started football practice and soccer and all the things, and I'll be real, I'm just taking a deep breath and going, here we go. We've been here before. It's okay. Talking to another teacher educator, like she just was feeling the anxiety of the new year coming on, and she's a little bit younger, and I just said, that's totally normal. It doesn't mean it's a bad career. It doesn't mean that you need a career change. It's when you start counting down the weeks, then you need a career change. But if you're just feeling anxiety of like, okay, it feels like a lot. It is a lot, but it's normal. So I know as I head into my 15th year of a studio, I feel the same thing. I feel anxious and sometimes feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Does anybody else feel like that way? I know what I'm doing, but we're learning every day. But I wanted to just be real because I'm a business owner. And for some of you, this might be your first time hearing me. So I've been in business 15 years. I have 5 kiddos and I'm just juggling it all like you guys. So today I wanted to share this because a business owner / friend reached out and asked, hey, I need your business brain on this. How do we market our events? Because he works for a nonprofit. So he wanted help just making sure the timeline was right so that they are promoting their events well. And I'm like, thank you so much for the podcast outline. So I took what we chatted about and put in a little bit more. But before we dive in, your PSA, make sure you are taking something from your last week of social posts. Okay, y'all? So hopefully you're posting 3 to 5 times a week. Take your most popular social post, bring it over to your Google business profile to make sure your Google business profile is updated and active. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to grab my Google workshop. Go to msmelisarose.com/deals and you'll get then taken to a landing page with a bunch of buttons. You get to choose what you want to be part of. Click the Google workshop. It's free and I give you a how-to tutorial. It's about 35-40 minutes long on what you need to do in your business Google profile to make sure that you are standing out and totally optimized so that people find you. All right. I want people to find you because you all have gifts to share with this world. So go do that. That's free. And then you'll know what I mean by taking your social post and updating it to your Google business profile. If you are local to the Hudson, Wisconsin area, the St. Croix Valley area, and you are a business owner in health and wellness, I invite you to be part of Healthy in the Valley. We are opening membership for another 6-month commitment to promote your business within Healthy in the Valley. So it's a digital online resource for our community to grab exclusive offers from business owners who specialize in health and wellness in mind, body, and soul. And you pay a little bit, like really a little bit, to be amplified even more. So I take your business and promote it for you, taking what you're doing and sending it out to the community even more. And it's a really great way to collaborate, work together, and have somebody else help you in your marketing efforts. So if that describes you, go on over to healthyinthevalley.com and learn what Healthy in the Valley is about. And membership starts opening up September 1st for the October edition of Healthy in the Valley. All right, those are my PSAs. Let's get started. Okay, so I have 3 basic buckets, okay? 3 things you need to do. It starts 6 to 8 weeks out from your event. All right, what you're going to start doing 6 to 8 weeks out is you're going to create a graphic and copy. This is your base graphic. And I say this because we are going to possibly change it up over the course of these next 6 to 8 weeks. But you're going to have your solid foundational graphic that you're going to use for the event. And then you're going to do some killer copy. And I want you to use some tools that we have in our back pocket. You are going to use ChatGPT to help you. But you first need to feed it some really good information. So you're going to write up your version of a really great description of what your event is about, who needs to be there, why they should be there, what the transformation is, what they're going to get out of it, and all the good stuff, where, when, how, all that. Okay, and then you're going to dump it into ChatGPT. They're going to spit it out, and you can tweak it from there and keep it going and make it really lively. And I really want you to use that to help sell this, all right? So you're going to create that graphic. Then, once you have a graphic and copy created, you are going to create a Facebook event. You can also create an Eventbrite, as there are people that go there. I want you to email your event to your list. You all should be having an email list of people, your client list. You email that event. Now, that event might be a paid event, right? Or it might be a free, but either way, I want you to have an early bird incentive. Maybe it's $5 off, or maybe it's a gift with purchase, right? Do an early bird incentive and make it like super short, like a week, all right? Then I want you to make sure you're including it in your blog from now on for the next 6 to 8 weeks. And then I want you to make sure your link that you are sending people is everywhere. The easiest way to do this is what I do in my podcast here. I go to msmelisarose.com/deals, and then I have a list of buttons. And we update that one place behind the scenes often. However, that link never changes. All right. And that's the way I choose to do it because I have a lot of different spokes to my business. That way I don't have to go, oh yeah, we need to change the link. We need to change this over here. It always stays the same, but those buttons change as they need to be changed. And then there's just one place that happens. It is not going to different platforms. So that's what helps me stay sane and my team stay sane. I'm just sharing with you. Okay, so that's 6 to 8 weeks out. That's your first bucket. Now, that is great, and I'm super proud of you for getting it out ahead of time, all right? Now, we have a lot of different events in our studio business. We have a lot of different events that maybe have different weight to them. Like some of them are really, really, really important, like our recital, which we tell people a year ahead of time, right? Because that's like huge. Then there's other events like we're going to do like a fun October event where we're going to do like we don't have a title yet, but where students and clients can come and try on leotards and, dance attire and then create a wish list. And then that wish list will be on file. So then when grandma, grandpa, or mom and dad come to the studio, they know exactly what size, what style the kiddo wanted. So that way they can have it for their holiday gift. All right. So that is not as weighted. However, it's going to be a fun community event. And, but we still want to market it really well because we want people to show up, right? So keeping that in mind, this gives you a template or an idea of what needs to be done when. Okay, so now we're headed into the second bucket, which is 4 to 6 weeks out. All right. Now, this is something you can do on your website. You can put a banner on your website so when people come to your website, it's highlighted there. But most of your people aren't going to be heading to your website. They're going to be heading to your socials. You're going to be talking to them. So that's why that link where you send people, make it really simple for you to manage behind the scenes, but also pointing your people exactly where they need to go. All right. So I want you you created that Facebook event in the 6 to 8 week bucket. I want you to take that Facebook event now and I want you to share it. And where can you share it? You guys, you can share it so many places. Here in our community, we have a Hudson Word of Mouth. We have a Hudson community page. We have the surrounding communities. We have, like for me, it makes sense to share it in moms groups. What is your place? Okay, what is your service and where does it make sense to share? So use those Facebook groups. Now, I will say they don't like you putting tons of stuff in there, but if it's, once a week or once every 2 weeks, most of them are going to be okay with it. Now think about the networking events you do as a business owner. Do they have an email list? Do they have a newsletter? Do they have a private Facebook group? I'm thinking of one networking group that I have that does all of that. All right, so I'm going to make sure my information is to them so they can include it in the newsletter. I can share it in the Facebook group. I am then also printing out flyers. That's another one here. So where can you hand out people like a physical flyer, like maybe it's a half sheet, quarter sheet, whatever, but that tangible thing. And then also give it to your current clients as they walk in the door. All right. You can also share that Facebook group event to your personal page, to your personal stuff, LinkedIn, all the socials, but making sure you're not just doing it once, you guys, you're doing it at least once a week for the 6 weeks prior to your event, okay? And this is the bucket 4 to 6 weeks, so you're at least once a week sharing it, okay? Now, when you are in Canva or wherever you do your graphic design, I don't know any other place besides Canva. Like everybody uses Canva. But you can switch up the colors of your graphic, okay? So you can go to your brand kit and just change up the colors a little bit of the templated or whatever you created for your graphic so that it's the same graphic, but it's just changed in color scheme a little bit by using your brand colors. So it just pulls people focus a little bit, all right, versus creating a whole new thing, all right? I want you to also in this 4 to 6 week bucket, making sure when you share, when you post, that you are tagging anybody and everybody who is part of the event. If you have team members, tag them. I have a policy in my studio that they share. I don't require that they share, but if they feel comfortable, please share it. And I say, and here's how I do it. I say, if I tag you in a post, that's your cue to share it. Okay. If you feel comfortable, please share it out to your network. But if maybe you're holding an off-site location, make sure you tag the place you're holding the retreat or whatever you're doing. Make sure you're tagging anything, any products or services that you're going to have there, you're tagging those people so they can share it as well. Make it easy for them to share. This should also be in your blog. All right. It's a do good service for SEO for them. And hopefully they are doing the same. And maybe that's something you set up beforehand. Hey, can this please be put on your website, on your blog? Please hyperlink my business and this event so that we have, more SEO going for this event. All right. Okay, next and final bucket. We are 1 to 3 weeks out from your event. Now, you've created all the stuff, you've created some momentum. I just want to specify by the 1 to 3 weeks out, this is where we kind of get tired, okay? Because now the other things are starting to pile up, like the other details of actually putting on the event, let alone marketing the event. So we need to make sure we have this all documented of what we're going to do when, so that way we don't get distracted or forgotten, or these steps get forgotten because we're so busy with the other parts of the event that need to happen, okay? And this is just really where it gets hard because maybe, I don't know if this happens to you, but maybe you feel like nobody is coming to your event and people are very last minute, okay? So even though it may feel like not a lot is happening, keep going because so many people wait till the last minute. And I have so much experience with that. And it pisses me off so much because you put so much energy and it gets to be like 2 weeks out, 10 days out. And you're like, what the actual? Because you're like, where is everybody? I put so much energy into this. Don't you dare cancel. Don't you dare waver. Keep going because they will come. They show up. They wait till the last minute. So keep sharing your event. I now want you to up your posts to 3 times a week regarding your event. All right. But do not just share the graphic. If you can have an IG live or a Facebook live, or if you can show the behind the scenes of actually getting ready for the event, maybe you have a guest speaker or a teacher, whatever it is for your business, and you can have a little like interview if it works, or even just feature them, a picture of them with the logo of your event. Any way to feature your event in a different way. All right. So we're not just sharing the graphic. We're still marketing your event, but we're doing it different ways. All right. Please do that. Think of ways. This is where it gets maybe a little harder because it's contingent on other people, but it's super important. Okay. I want you to now text your list. All right. Hopefully your software has that aspect, or maybe you have like for me, I have a one software that I'm able to do that, email and text, but I would highly recommend texting your list. Hey, just sent an email about our next event coming up in 2 weeks. Make sure you do that at least once. I wouldn't do it a lot, but make sure once or twice in this 1 to 3 week period out. And then you probably have a list of people that you really want there. And if they haven't signed up, if they haven't committed to the event, make sure you are reaching out to them personally and just say, hey, thinking of you, and let them know and be personable, say their name and tell them why they should be there and what they would get out of it. Just don't be generic. People can so tell when it's a cut, copy, paste. Make sure it's personable to them. Okay. All right, so then you're adding in, you're continuing to handle flyers, you're continuing to share in the networking groups and everything there. But that last week, you're just changing up really the social content a little bit more. Okay, so lots of information here. This is all going to be bullet pointed out nice and clear in the newsletter this week. So if you're not on my newsletter, go to msmelissarose.com/deals and click the newsletter, become part of it so you can get this download as well as future stuff. I also share a little bit behind the scenes, so you'll probably see some pictures of the kiddos. But I understand events are huge. They take a lot of energy and work. And let me clarify, I probably should have said this at the top, but events doesn't mean like this, like it can mean a huge thing like a retreat or whatever, but for us, it can be like the start of classes. Like we're launching and starting our classes. I am launching Healthy in the Valley in 2 weeks. So all these different things, or like I said, the community event where kiddos are coming in to try on leotards so they can create their Christmas wish list. If an event is an event, okay? So the size of it doesn't matter. We still need to promote it so that people are seeing it, okay? Because it takes energy, whether it's a huge event and renting out a hotel space or it's something within our location. We want people showing up. So we need to do our part. So I hope this helps. This is a lot of information. But once you have this template of the schedule, you can then just duplicate it for each event going forward. All right. And I want your business to be the only option in town. I'm super passionate about my brick and mortars because it is no small feat running a brick and mortar business. And I want your business to be the only option in town. I am super passionate about that, and I hope you found this of super value. If you are a new listener, thank you so much for hanging out. If you like the show, make sure you follow it, and make sure, if you haven't, leave a rating and review on Apple iTunes. They mean the world to me, and I would love to shout you out on the next podcast. All right, y'all, have a great week. We'll see you here, same time, same place next week. Peace. Bye-bye.